Hi, my name is Madison and I will be explaining to you the Greek verb system. The word mood, first we'll start with the mood. The word mood comes from the Latin word modus, meaning measure or manner. The mood refers to the way in which a speaker relates to the verbal idea to reality. There are a total of 5 different moods. There is the indicative mood, imperative mood, subjunctive mood, infinitive mood, and the appetitive mood. The indicative mood asserts the faculty of the statement. An example of this is, I have mercy. The imperative mood is where a verb expresses the command. For example, Lord have mercy. The subjunctive mood can express contingency or an event that will happen in the future, such as, though he have mercy. The infinitive mood expresses a verbal idea that is not restricted by specifying persons and numbers. For example, the statement, to have mercy is better than sacrifices. The appetitive mood, which is usually expressed in a polite request way, such as, may he have mercy. It is the rarest of all these moods and is not used commonly. The indicative mood is very different to all the other moods. It is usually referred to as the mood of reality, which means all the other moods are potential moods, situations that could unfold. Unlike the others, the indicative mood is also unmarked. Now's the time we talk about tenses. In Greek, there are not 3 tenses, but instead there are 7 tenses. There is the pluperfect, the future perfect, present, imperfect, future, aorist, and the perfect. These are all the different 7 tenses that Greek tries to use in their verb system to describe what's going on at what period of time. The tense system also has something called aspect. Aspect is the view of the action that speakers choose to show the reader. There are 3 types of aspect. The first is imperfect aspect, which focuses on the process or the duration of the action. The second is the perspective, that one. Perspective aspect focuses on the state or condition resulting from a completed action. The aoristic tense focuses on the verbal idea in its entirety. It does not comment on the process or the result of the action. The aoristic tense is usually unmarked in Greek. So here's an example of how the tense system works in Greek. Here we have 2 words right here. The first is gave, the second is giving. Now, the way this thing works is to determine the tense, or whether it's aorist or perfect or imperfect, and you're trying to figure it out, is you want to look at the endings. So these parts will tell you the differences. The main thing in Greek is to learn this, that there are stems and there are endings, and they change depending on what the tense is. The third aspect I want to show you about the Greek is voice. Voice describes the action that the subject is doing or receiving, as well as stating who it is happening to. Voice is broken down into 3 sections. We have the active, the middle, and the passive. The active is when the subject is having the action performed on. For example, take this sentence, I did the drawing. The passive is when the subject is being acted upon. Take this sentence, someone drew on me. And the middle is when the subject is acting on its own interests. I did the drawing myself. Fourth aspect of Greek I want to show you is the suffix. A suffix is a morpheme added at the end of a word in a form of a derivative. So, for example, we have 2 English examples here. We have ation and we have ing. These are added onto the end of the words to tell us whether it's first, second, or third person, or whether it's singular or plural. And this is how it also applies in the Greek. So, for example, we have 2 Greek words here, Lugo and Luis. One says Iulus and one says Iulus. The difference between these is not the beginnings, but the endings. The endings here are in fact what tells us whether it's plural or singular, first, second, or third person.